Hiya, it's Deputy Prime Minister, proud Northerner and Basic Instinct enthusiast Angela Rayner, and welcome to another No-Brainer with Angela Rayner. Now, as you can see, I am still surrounded by all my packing boxes. I have been so busy, I have not had a chance to unpack much more than my Ardat and my Ivies, because I went off visiting with my personal photographer, talking to members of the public about all the progress that us Labourers have had since we've come into power and how happy people are, and that was a very important thing to do. And also, I've had no civil servants available to help me unpack the rest, so I've just had to crack on and do what I can. But you know what, last week was a really positive week for us Labourers, and we got a vote through Parliament that we were really hoping for, despite the fact that myself, Keir and a load of other us Labour's front benchers abstained from voting, along with the Lib Dems and Rishi Sunak. We managed to get what we wanted, which was absolutely brilliant, and our Ivor went on GB News defending us Labour's voting no against the inquiry into the gang stuff. And, you know, he did fantastically well. He really spoke up for us, did our Ivor. And then, unfortunately, right after he did that interview this weekend, he was caught by a group that exposed him for doing something he shouldn't have been doing. And it was very unfortunate, because it brought people over to look at his X account, which he's very active on X, is our Ivor. I follow him along with our David and our Rachel and Alistair Campbell, and quite a few of us Labourers follow him. And for the most part, our Ivor is just reposting us Labourers reposts, which is very good. You know, 1 minute you'll be reading about our Rachel's £22 billion black hole discovery, and the next minute you'll be reading about his old discoveries. And, you know, it's unfortunate. It's a bit eye-watering at times. You know, it jumps out at you sometimes. You know, pictures jump out at you that you weren't expecting. Like, you know, you'll be looking at a Keir posting about all the brilliant things us Labourers are doing, and then the next post will be a muscle man midget with a massive dong, and you just think, well, that's a bit unexpected. Our Ivor wasn't expecting to see that. But, you know, who's gonna kink shame him for it? You don't kink shame people. That is very homophobic to do that. And I think it's very important that you just let people be who they are. And, you know, all right, so I might abstain from going to Frankfurt Fridays with the rest of us Labourers for a few weeks after seeing some of the things he posts. But, you know, no shame to him. If that's what he's into, that's what he's into. But of course, the far right adjacent media had to jump on it straight away and start exposing the things that he likes and that he talks about, and the things that he's into, as if there's some sort of shame to it. How homophobic is that? Just leave him alone. If he's into that, he's into that. You shouldn't be shaming people. I know people in the industry and they work very hard, so leave it alone. Just let our Ivor get on with whatever he wants to get on with. Whatever tickles his pickle. And there is a lot of pickles there, so there you go. Anyway, speaking of us Labourers being exposed, another one of us Labourers has had a bit of trouble, and I'm a bit surprised actually, because Sky News have come after our Tulip in a very unexpected way, because she's the anti-corruption minister. They're saying that, you know, there might be a bit of corruption going on with her and houses that she lives in, and, you know, apartments that she's been gifted, and why she's here and there and everywhere, and who's paying for what, and just because she's related to somebody in Bangladesh who's got herself into a bit of trouble, you know, they're putting 2 and 2 together and making 5. And I think it's very unnerving and unsettling that they would go after her like that. We've got the far right adjacent media being homophobic, and now we've got Sky News coming after our Tulip. You know, maybe they've got a phobia of their own, and I think it's just really disappointing seeing this. Now, our Keir obviously has got a lot to deal with at the moment, and I have to say he is having a bit of a mentee bee. That's Gen Z speak for mental breakdown, because obviously there's a lot of heat on us Labourers again, and we did consider putting our Ivor down in the us Labourers bunker, but as you know, our Rachel's charging pod is down there, and we were a bit concerned because our red wired it up to an offshore wind farm, and if that fails because it's too much of a windy day and we've got to switch it off, then we've got a generator and it's got a very long crank on it, and we were just a bit concerned that our Ivor might accidentally slip and fall and land on the crank, so we thought better of it. And plus our Rachel really does need to be left alone right now. We're thinking of putting her into stasis because, you know, things aren't going quite as well as we had hoped following the budget, and you know, things might have to happen and changes might have to be made, which would be a little bit upsetting and disappointing. So the last thing we need is to wind her up. So it's been a bit of a difficult week for our Keir so far. It's only Monday, so we're just hoping things get a little bit better. But you know what? It doesn't matter what you say and it doesn't matter what you do, because either way, us Labours are going from strength to strength. I'll see you again on another no-brainer with Angela Rayner. How homophobic is that? Just leave him alone. If he's into that, he's into that. You shouldn't be shaming people. I know people in the industry and they work very, very hard.